Hey all, this is going to be two different hip rotation exercises. The first one's really to get the head of the femur, okay, which is your thigh bone. It's a ball, it sits in a socket which is called the acetabulum. What we want to do is really get that bone to move around in that socket. So we can start off doing an easier version here, where we've got our knees bent. We're just going to lift the opposite leg up. Remember, whenever you're lifting legs up, that little bit of core activation there just for control. And then we are going to draw a nice slow circle with that knee. So you can see I'm drawing a circle here. Now what we can do to change the angle of this is to bring the leg in. So I've turned that leg inwards now, and I can scour through there, and then I can turn the leg out more, so I'm heel out, and I can work through there as well. Now when I go heel out, I get a lovely click through my hip. So I'm just going to stay out of that for now, stay out of that range, and that's just showing me I need to do a little bit more movement and stretching around my hip. I was getting that when I was just working through here earlier, but a nice psoas release with the ball, I just did it up against the wall, helped to free a lot of that up. All right, so just showing you on the other side, we can work one direction there. We can work both directions just to free up around that hip joint. And this is good for anyone that has problems with rotation through the hip, or basically with any hip stiffness, because this really is working up at that ball joint. All right, and again, turning the foot inwards. Okay, and we can go both ways there. And then we can turn the foot outwards. I'm just looking to make a nice controlled movement. Go as slow as you can control so that you're not lifting up through the opposite hip. We don't want to be going out and moving this hip, having the pelvis come up. So keeping flat on the ground there. It doesn't surprise me that my right hip clicks, because, you know, with almost 30 years being a hockey goalkeeper, slamming onto that hip, yeah, that hip's not as good as this hip. Oh, that's life. All right, guys, so that's the easier version. If we want to progress that to the harder version, we're going to do a nice big, what I call the hip circle. We're going to draw a circle with our foot now. So instead of using our knee, we're going to make this lever a lot longer. We are going to drop the other leg now so that we're down flat. So we're going to start in this position here. Oh, feet just off screen there. There we go, that's better. So we're going to start in this position, and I'm going to draw 2 circles each way. I can work around one way and then work around the other way. You may have seen the shoulder circle. It's kind of the same thing, all right? Again, you've got to make sure you don't exceed what you can deal with in your lower back. This is for your hip, but your lower back is going to get a little bit of pull on it here, so make sure you don't exceed and go too big too early. So the idea is to draw as big a circle as we can currently draw with our foot, and then get bigger and bigger as we progress through this exercise. So first up, I'm going to bring my foot across the body, and it's all right if the side that I'm using, the side I'm moving, that hip comes off, because that's going to give me a little bit more rotation through the back. So I'm going to come as low as I can to the ground here, as low as I can, as far up as I can stay pretty straight with that leg, and I'm going to bring that leg right across to get a nice hamstring stretch, almost to the ground. I'm going to go as low as I can there. I know you can't see that one on camera, you'll see the opposite side. So I'm lifting this hip up, allowing myself to rotate, and then coming right over. And then I can go back out the other way. Trying not to put my leg down, straight as I can there. And then coming back in, kicking my backdrop. Over we go. And then bringing it back in, just to show you on the other side. So I'm just going back to flat there, guys. I'm not starting trying to twist my hip up. So I'm staying nice and flat. I'm going to come, straight leg, across the body, bring it out as far as I can there. And now not wanting this hip to raise. All right, I want to keep that hip down. Oh, this one's a bit tighter. Oh, come on. Right, then I'm going to go out the other way as straight a leg as I can, trying to keep this bottom leg down as well. We don't want it popping up. You should probably not do that at the hardest point of the exercise. Lifting the other leg up. So coming through, bringing it over, straight over, and back down. Now you might get a bit of cramping around your quads as you're working there because they are having to do a fair bit of work. But the idea is we're just working on an exercise. It's most of our range of circumduction that's getting worked on there. And this is about controlled, slow movement. Okay, so this is great for mobility because it's about control. So just work your way through that exercise. If you can only kind of get out to here before you feel like you're going too far and draw a little circle here, hey, who cares? It's a starting point. Go from there, then try and build to the point where you can bring your leg right over at 90 degrees. I was almost there, but not quite, okay? And that will actually allow you to move a lot better. You'll free up those hips. You'll have a lot more strength and control around your hips. And it'll help you with your balance a little bit as well, because we're getting a lot of muscles to fire around your hips that probably haven't worked for a long time. So, have a go at that one. Take it easy to start with. Get progressively bigger. You can work on the bent knee version first before you progress to the straight leg version. Alrighty. And just increase your range as you go. With the straight lever, the hip circle, you're doing 2 or 3 each direction. That's enough. With the bent knee version, you can do half a dozen or more reps each direction and then turning the foot in and out. You can really work that one more because it's a little less taxing. Alright guys, have fun with that. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.